Last season, Zion Williamson was a player who you couldn't go 2 seconds scrolling through social media without seeing a post about his crazy dunk or some quote or just simply anything about Zion. And at the time, a lot of people were annoyed by this and they claimed that Zion was overrated and overhyped. But this season, I, along with others, have noticed that Zion hasn't been posted as much and no one is really discussing how absolutely dominant and amazing Zion has been this season. So in today's video, I'll be giving a few reasons why I think Zion has become underrated and just talk about what has made him become underrated as well. But before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video to help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want weekly NBA content and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And comment on this video, start a conversation with me as I respond to all of my comments. And play that intro. I feel before we discuss why Zion is underrated, we have to discuss how he became underrated. And in my opinion, a big reason why Zion has become underrated is the fact that last season, Zion was the most hyped up player coming into the league, and everyone was looking forward to him playing. And when it was announced that he was injured for the first half of his rookie year, it built up even more hype towards Zion. And all the social media pages were obviously trying to capitalize on Zion's popularity, and that led to him being everywhere you will look on social media. This year, all the sports pages have found a new young player to post all the time, and this year it's LaMelo Ball. And this type of thing has always happened in the NBA community, because remember, in 2019 it was Luka Doncic, in 2018 it was Ben Simmons, and so on. So it's not Zion's fault that he has become underrated. Social media just has somewhat moved on from him. But don't get me wrong, Zion's not like some irrelevant player, but it's just that a lot of his hype has disappeared. Another reason he has lost his hype is because last season, Zion, every single night, it seemed like Zion was doing a crazy highlight, whether it was a crazy poster dunk or a crazy block. But now, even though he is playing better, it seems like he's having less highlight plays since it looks like he's shooting way less layups. I mean way more layups. And he's going for way less poster dunks, and he's not having as much crazy blocks. And long term, I actually think it's actually better for Zion's career to not be dunking all the time, since it will relieve some of the pressure off of his knees. Another reason why Zion might have become underrated also might be because he was constantly being posted on social media, and you might be wondering how him being posted on social media all the time is now making him underrated. And the reason is because I've noticed that when Zion was being posted a lot, it put the idea in a lot of people's head that he's overrated, and they were probably thinking this Zion guy is good, but he's not good enough to be posted as if he's a top 10 player. And Zion ended up getting a lot of haters, where people will call him a slightly better Julius Randle, and this was when Julius Randle wasn't great. So I feel like there might be some people who still have negative thoughts about him, and that might cause them to still be underrating him till this day. Another thing that has made him underrated is the fact that Zion doesn't have a huge off the court personality. Since he doesn't do crazy things or say crazy things off the court, or he's not like crazy funny, he seems like just a quiet and humble guy, and there's nothing wrong with that obviously, but it just makes him somewhat less likable. Like, it doesn't make him like a disliked person, but it doesn't make him lovable, kind of like Jimmy Butler, Giannis, or Russell Westbrook. I feel like there's not a huge amount of Zion fans, or maybe that's just me, but I haven't really seen too much of them. Now to talk about why he's underrated, and the first thing that makes him so underrated to me is the fact that Zion is putting up absolutely crazy and dominant stats and only his second season in the league. Just in case you haven't realized this season Zion is averaging 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists while shooting 62% from the field. Zion has been the best player on the Pelicans this season, and it's not really an argument to me. And if Zion at this age is already looking like one of the more dominant players in the league, and it's already looking like he's unstoppable, putting up superstar numbers, it makes me wonder how good Zion will be when he's 25 or 28 years old. And the fact that he's this great makes me think that he's underrated, since I don't see many people talking about how good Zion has been this season and how he might have the potential to be a top 3 player in the league and one of the greatest players in all time. Zion has also undoubtedly broken a lot of NBA records this season, and no one talks about it. In fact, his awards that he has broken, honestly, I didn't even know about them. So it seems like maybe even myself, I've been sleeping on Zion. Some of the records that Zion has broken is the fact that he joined the list of the most consecutive 20-point games with over 50% from the field, and he had 16 of them in a row, which has players like Shaquille O'Neal, Karl Malone, and Wilt Chamberlain on the list, and those are the only guys who are above him. That's elite company. He also joined Michael Jordan as the only rookie to score 20 plus points in 10 straight games as a rookie. And Zion has broken many other records, but I'm not gonna say all of them because that could be its own video. But nonetheless, Zion has really looked like he could be one of the best players in NBA history, and just not a lot of people are realizing that, and they're overlooking it, which to me makes him very, very underrated. The second reason I believe Zion is underrated is the fact that a lot of people think Zion is a guy who just dunks and who doesn't have a lot of skill, but Zion actually might be the best finisher in the whole NBA because he is fantastic at shooting layups. And it's not just because of his athleticism, he has some of the best touch on his layups that I've ever seen. If he's within 8 feet of the basket, you can just assume that he's going to score, because not only is he a 280-pound man with a 40+ inch vert, he is great at making layups with his amazing touch. Zion also isn't a player who can just post up. He's a great ball handler, and he's probably a better ball handler than you think, because Zion is a player who can blow by his defenders and get all the way to the rim. I've seen him do legitimate crossovers and hezzies to blow past good defenders, and it's hard to put a player on him that can absolutely lock him down, since if you put a smaller guy on him, he'll just body them, and if you put a big guy on him, he's too big, strong, and fast for anyone to guard him. Also, as of late, Zion has been playing as the Pelicans' main ball handler in the last 5 games, and in the last 5 games, he's been averaging 5 assists. So that shows that he's a player who can get his teammates involved, and he's a pretty good passer. And although Zion has good enough handles to be a good ball handler, he is the best in the post, since he has really solid footwork and moves. He doesn't just truck himself towards the basket or just spin move all the time. He's far from a Hakeem Olajuwon or a Joel Embiid, but he definitely is solid. So in my opinion, Zion is a very skilled player, and I feel like a lot of people who don't watch him don't know how skilled he is, and I think that's an underrated part about his game as well. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with what I said in the video. Drop a like on this video to help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want weekly NBA content, and to reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. Comment on this video to start a conversation with me, as I respond to all of my comments. And I'm out.